Bonjour à tous, comment ça va? I hope that you are doing well today because today I have something un petit drôle, a bit fun to talk to you about, and that is, firstly, why am I doing this ridiculous accent? Why am I being a Frenchman today? And I will tell you why. It is because I want to talk to you about doing the accent of the language that you are learning in English en anglais to help you to learn another language, the language that you are learning. Of course, that was a ridiculous statement, but you understand what I mean. So, I am learning French. So, today I am speaking to you in une accent française. And you may think that is not helping at all. Why would that be helping you? But allow me to explain to you. Okay, first I want to say that ce n'est pas d'importance. It is not important. It does not matter which language you are learning. Okay, you can do this in any language. Of course, I'm doing it in French because I'm learning French, and my name is Lamont, which is actually not French. It is Écosse, Scottish, but ce n'est pas d'importance. Ce ne fait rien. It does not matter. But I'm doing it in French. Okay, you can do it in German, you can do it on le suédois, the Swedish, le Norwegian, the Norwegian, it does not matter. Okay, so that is first thing. The second thing is, it does not need to be good. It does not need to be born to actually work. You do not need to do the accent well. As you hear today, I am not doing a good French accent. And the more you do it, the better you will get at it. But more importantly, you will get good at the language that you are learning, at the French, if you are doing it in a French accent. Pourquoi? Why is that? Why could that be? Okay, so the reasons I will explain. I know it seems a stretch, it seems unlikely, but it's true, I promise you. Okay, so the first is it gets you thinking about the sounds, les sons of, of, the, of the language, because not all the sounds in English exist in other languages, and not all the sounds in other languages exist en anglais, in English. Okay? And if I just change color on my face, that is because my computer monitor it has changed to the screensaver. So je suis désolé, my apologies for that, but I don't need my notes, it doesn't matter. Okay, so it gets you thinking about the sounds, les sons. For example, in French, they don't have the sound h, the H sound. They cannot make this sound. Okay, probably some of them out there have learned to make this sound, but they don't have it. And even those who are fluent in English, they are often missing this h sound. So they will say, oh, just a minute, I will get my headphones. Okay, not headphones. That is not a sound in French, and it is not a sound they are making in French or in English. And you can help yourself to train. You can train your brain to do that by doing it in English. Okay, so let's try and remember without my computer notes, which are behind you, and changing the color of my face. So the second thing is, the other way that it can help is la grammaire. Of course, the grammar. Why are they saying the things they are saying? Why can the French people or les Allemands, the Germans, les Suédois, the Swedish, why can they not make the distinction between the perfect present, I run, and the present continuous, I am running? They can make this distinction, but they have a difficulty with making the distinction because it is not a distinction in their language. Okay, so you'll hear almost no matter how fluent they are in English, they will have difficulty between I am doing something and I do something. For example, I have said in this video today, today I want to be talking to you, and you would think, you are talking to us, what is the problem? Okay, that is, if you are a native English speaker, it is not the same. For them, they have this difficulty. That is one thing, but there are many things. In French, you can also say, for example, I give to you the letter, or something like that. It does not matter whether we are talking about I give to you the letter, or in German, I think today a nice day is something they might say in German. It does not matter that actually the people who learn a language, English, they learn these things and they learn not to say them. That's not the important bit, okay? The important bit is that you learn that that's not what they say in those languages. So if you are doing a German accent and you say, I won't do this German accent because I cannot. But if you do something like, I think today a nice day is, that is training your brain for thinking, ich denke, heute ein schöner Tag ist. And again, je suis désolé pour my mauvais allemand, bad German, So that's another thing, la grammaire. And you can have real fun with this, you can change the grammar significantly as long as it matches the grammar in your language of choice. It doesn't matter, and you change it as much as possible. You want to actually form the sentences the way they are formed in your language and make it right for that language, not right for English. If it's wrong for English and right in your language, that's the best. That's what you want, okay? So I have not done it enough today because actually my French grammar, it is quite bad, okay? I don't know a lot of French grammar. It is what I am working on, forming the sentences in the French way, okay? So that's another thing. You want to be learning to form the sentences in the language that you are learning without sans the distraction of actually all the new words and the new sounds. That is why it is helping you to do it in your native language, English. That is why you want to do it in English or en anglais, because you are probably asking me, why not just do it in the language? That would be even better. Oui, c'est ça, that would be even better, but that adds many new layers of difficulty. You don't want all those layers all at once. It's too much, c'est trop. You will actually notice that it is quite difficult if your language is A2, maybe A2 level, that's level 2 out of 6, or spécialement, particulièrement B1 or above, that is level 3 out of 6 or above, you will notice that it is actually plutôt difficile, quite difficult to maintain the accent in your native language without switching straight to the language itself. And why is that? Even though it is obviously much easier for me to speak the English, why is it that my brain keeps telling me switch to French, even though my French is très mauvais, very bad? Why is that? Okay, I tell you why, and this is a sign that you are improving. It is because if you are making these sounds often, very often, you are making them and you are talking in them for quite a long time, your brain goes, I recognize those sounds, I want to speak the language that I have been learning, okay? And they are actually much easier to make in that language. It's almost as if it's easier to sound French in French. Of course, this is the truth. Why would it not be? It is easier to sound French in French than it is to sound French in English. It is not easier grammatically for me. It is much easier to speak English, of course, but it's creating a conflict in my brain between the French part and the English part. and that is a sign that you are doing this right, you are doing it properly. It is a good thing. So if you are of a high level, it will actually be un petit difficile, a bit difficult to keep in English. And that is why I'm saying the odd phrase in French, because it reminds me, oh, that's how they say that. And sometimes that comes to my brain before the English. It's un petit bizarre, it's a bit weird. Okay, and that leads us on to our third thing. So we have the first two things for to remind you. We have the sounds, the accent, the sounds they are making. The French, they cannot make this h sound, it does not exist. And there will be many others, of course. And then we have the la grammaire, the grammar, and why they are saying things in an order bizarre, a strange order, and why they are putting this. Or another thing is on that, by the way, les prépositions. The prepositions, they are, of course, they are very, very difficult to get right, because they are essentially random in every language. The more you can get the prepositions wrong, as long as they're right for the language you're learning, the prepositions, the sounds, there's good things. Okay, and the third thing, and I think this is possibly the most fun, it is possibly the most difficult, and it is also possibly the most beneficial, the greatest aid for you. Donc, je suis désolé, I need to apologize because my camera stopped recording because it's saying, Le Monde, tu parles trop, you talk too much. And I do, but I have one more thing to say, and that is about, I think I was in the middle of saying about these words that we can use in our second language, but they're not the words that they would normally use. And that is a way that you want to sound more German, more French, whatever. You know, you want to use the words that they normally use, not the words that you have grown accustomed to using. An example would be in French, you hear the French speakers, they love this word bizarre, because even when they're speaking English, oh, that's bizarre. Okay, they say bizarre, we would just say that's weird, or that's strange, or something like that, but they say that's bizarre. And why do they say that? Of course, it is because it is a word we have stolen in the English we use, and so they say, great, I don't have to learn un autre mot, un autre mot, another word, so they just use bizarre, but then they go around saying bizarre this, bizarre that, and we think you sound a bit bizarre. So, and it's okay, we don't correct them because it's not incorrect, it's just un peu bizarre. So you want to learn the words that they would use in that situation instead of the word that you are always using. Okay, so and what helps you to do that, what can help you, is exactly what I'm doing now, which is to be speaking in l'accent, the accent of the language you are learning, and overusing this word that they use in the other language. The word that they use all the time, you want to use it a lot, even if it's actually not, if you're learning a language that is not like English at all. If you're learning Japanese or Swahili or something, you just throw in that word. Before I go, I just want to say, if you are French and you are watching this and you think my English does not sound anything like that, that you are wrong, c'est pas vrai. That's okay. I'm not having a go at you and your people and your culture. Clearly, I like your people. That is why I am learning votre langue. I am just making a case for what you can do to improve your second language. So if you are French or German or whatever and you want to improve your English, I suggest you do this in English. You try to sound like an English speaker when we learn your language. What do we sound like? We probably sound terrible, of course, we probably sound terrible, and I want you to try to sound like that. Get you thinking about what it is, why it is that we say the things we say in your language. Why do we do that? And that will help you to understand our language. Not long, no long. I should not have tried that one. Okay, I don't know it. Okay, so you do that, and I promise you it will help you to improve your language skills. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if it's un petit long, a bit long, and I hope you have an excellent day or night. À la prochaine et au revoir.